I'm at a loss for words. I really am. I am tired, very tired of the male toxic energy. The type of energy that you get from men that think that they're on top of the world, that they're better than you, that you should be at their feet. That type of energy that you just don't like to be around. For me, I don't want to be around that. I really feel in my heart that this particular energy is not good for anyone. And I'm talking about those people like Nick Fuentes or an Andrew Tate. These guys that, they really despise women. And for Andrew Tate, it's really amazing to me how women gravitate, or he's used women per se, um, for his bidding, his will, things like that, because he is this popular figure to young men, and he has money, and he has a platform. Those type of men, do you think that they are Christian? Do you think that they think that they're doing the right thing when it comes to spreading the message or getting the word around to those who um, try to look up to them? You know, the buzz was out after Trump became elected again for president. The buzz was out, and Nick Fuentes says, "Women, your body is my choice." And it caused an uproar. It did. It caused an uproar with men that appreciate women and value women. And of course, it caused an uproar with women. For some person to dictate that somebody else, somebody else's body is now their choice. I mean, it's amazing to see how people reacted to it, but it's also amazing to see how people rooted for it. What dictates another man to say that somebody else's body, and I'm talking about women, is their choice? The only man that has a right to their child's body is the father until that child is grown. Case in point. So it is not a man's place to dictate a woman's body, is their choice. We are in a toxic masculinity uh, setting nowadays. You see that through politics, you see that through just everything in life now. It seems like men feel the need to say, we're the superior ones, and women, you are inferior to us. You should bow to the knee. Not me. I'm going to be honest with you. My wife and I, we are equal. And that's how it should be. Everyone should be perceived as equal amongst each other. But when it comes to money and power, there's always that superiority, inferiority mind frame. You see, I have a problem with men like this. And I would dare someone to walk up to me or to my wife saying, your body, my choice. Oh my goodness. I grew up with 6 older brothers. The oldest is 10 years older than me. And several things that they taught me was you never stand down to a fight. And they also taught me how to defend myself and hold my own. And I can tell you this, I would never let a man disrespect me, my children, or my wife. My wife and I, we have two boys. We teach them to respect others, and we especially teach them to respect women because women are the backbone of our country. The woman is the backbone to a man. And it's amazing how we have people in power that try to dictate something that women should have the right to defend, or women to have the right to choose. Now, always tried to be an open minded person, but when it comes to issues that we have, when it comes to men forcing themselves, abusing, hurting women, there is no place in society for it. And that's something that I just decided that I wanted to have a conversation on and just talk about. And I also want to talk about that, men abuse women, and there are women that can abuse men. I'm not discrediting us men. Sometimes we are the ones that are being abused. But something that I experienced when I was in the dating world is that some of the people that I would date and have conversations with, they were in toxic relationships with men that abused them for the most part. Men were abusing women. I'm not saying that every person that I encountered female wise was abused, but some of the conversations that I would have with women that I were interested in talking to, they would say that they were abused by men. And it's sad. It's sad to hear. It's definitely sad to hear. Men are supposedly stronger. We're built differently. And there is no right that a man should abuse a woman or vice versa. When it comes to grape, it's crazy how we are telling women who have been victims of grape that they need to get over it, or they, let's just say they are with child from someone that raped them. They are supposed to just go ahead and have that child. And that's something next that I'm going to talk about in regards to it, because it's just, I am so struck how we have people in power that try to dictate what somebody wants to do with their body. I pulled up some statistics from the World Population Review, and this is rankings per 100,000 people, or let's just say 100,000. Yeah, 100,000 people, let's just say, by state who have been victims of grape. And I have to say that word because I don't want to get struck on YouTube. So I'm going to talk about these statistics here, and then I want to touch on the last thing. So stick with me, that I'm very strong about. So in Alaska, out of 100,000 people in population, 148 victims of grape. And I'm saying that slowly because I don't want to say the actual words, but I'm saying it slowly because I don't want to say it. If you get my drift, if you catch my drift, excuse me. It's dangerous for women there. According to these statistics here, 59% of women are victims of violence, sexual violence, or both. That's crazy. Next behind that is Arkansas with 77.2. You have South Dakota, 72%. You have Michigan with 72% as well. You have Nevada with 70%. I mean, this is ridiculous, guys. This is definitely ridiculous. And I know you guys may know as well. This doesn't just happen with to women. This happens to men as well, but there is a higher statistic with women being violated in comparison to men. And this ranges from ages from, being an uh, adolescent to an adult, you know, from 10 on up. And it's just sad. It's very sad to hear that we have to deal with stuff like this. And we have this male ecosphere that listens to people who talk badly about women of all kind. They treat women terribly, and some of them don't even have women in their lives. They just run at the mouth like Nick Fuentes does. You know, I was brought up to respect my elders, and I was definitely brought up to respect women. I was raised by an amazing mother who did everything she could to take care of her kids, and I respect her for that. Not everybody is born in that type of situation. When it comes to your body, my choice, it is not my choice. If you feel like it is right for you to have an abortion, I have no problems with that because it's not my choice. So it should not be anyone else's choice between you and your doctor. However, we have people in place that are that are striking that away from women's rights, that are striking it away from what doctors feel is best for the mother of the child. When a woman is raped and they have to carry that child, just imagine what kind of things it does to their mind, what kind of things that it does to their mentality, the thoughts of I'm carrying this particular person's child that I did not give consent to. And I'm talking about fathers who've done this, uncles, people that were friends of the family, cousins, whatever. I mean, my blood pressure is just increasing right now, just thinking of how crazy and sick this is. But it is not our right. It is not our right to put any woman or even girls, because there are girls that have been that this situation has happened to also in that type of situation. You know, I'm a Christian man, and if you're listening to this video and you're like, "Well, you're for abortion," I guess so. I'm for the right for someone to have the right to be able to dictate what takes place with themselves and their body. Let me ask you this question, viewer, listener, not viewer, but listener. Let me ask you this question. When a woman is with child, can they file that child for a tax? For let's just say let's put them on their taxes because they're with child. What is the answer to that? Can they get additional, let's say, a child tax credit because they're with child? Now, how is it fair for us to say you have to have that child, but we don't say, well, since you're having that child, let's help you out. you can go ahead and put that child on your taxes. Add that number 2 instead of 1 in regards to dependence. I'm gonna land my plane soon. It's not my right. It is not my right to tell any person besides my children what they need to do with their body. It is between that person and their doctor. You can call me a hypocrite for how I feel, but in my mind, as a Christian man, if someone wanted to have an abortion because they feel that going through the 9 months, sometimes 10 months, sometimes 5 months, going through just thinking about the situation that happened to them, why would I want to put a person in a situation to where they won't be mentally right afterwards? And also, people float out that word of adoption. Okay, but that person that's with child, that woman that's with child, they're still going to have to go through the whole situation of their grapist child being in their body. And we can't say that if this particular individual gives birth and that child is put up for adoption, how these, their new adopted parents would treat them. We can't. We don't know. Some months back, I heard about a family, and I believe they're in West Virginia, who had adopted 3 African American, Haitian American children that they treated like they were slaves, that they had them in a shed like they were pigs and treated them terribly. Their sleeping and living conditions were that of, let's just say, rats. Oh my goodness, can you believe that? They adopted kids that they treated not with love. They treated these kids lesser than. So as I land my plane here, it is not your body, my choice. It is your body, your choice. Because I cannot dictate your life. And man, if you're listening to me and you've been listening to these male bros, these bro guys, you're listening to the wrong people. But hey, this is the Just Listen podcast. I said podcast, excuse me. If you like what I've heard, like if you like what you've heard, I appreciate it if you would go ahead and comment, subscribe, hit the like button if you do. And if you don't like it, oh well. I'll keep pressing on. Go ahead and subscribe to the channel if you like it. Let me know what you think. Walt out.